Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to fast track your journey towards becoming a legendary Scrum Master? I'm assuming that you said yes, because if you did, you are definitely in the right place because today I'm going to unveil the ultimate roadmap for your success. So get ready to supercharge your Agile career. I'm coming to your kitchen table. We're going to have a cup of coffee and we're going to talk about how you can become legendary. Fast track. Stay tuned. Run that play. Welcome, Scrumcademy cadets, friends, students all over the world. I just finished up another amazing class. Shout out to my students in Australia, New Zealand, Iran, and of course, the United States. I had a wonderful time in class this week. Some of the amazing questions that I get out of class, I like to put in a video and share this information with you. So today, get you a cup of coffee. If you're driving, hey, just chill, put it on cruise control, and we're just going to have a conversation today. And I'm going to share with you what I believe is the best thing that you can do. If you're trying to be a Scrum Master today, if you're trying to be a legendary Scrum Master, what can you do to separate yourself from everybody else? And that is what I really want to go through with you today. But before I get into that, did you read your Scrum guide today? I hope the answer was yes, because I'm going into the definition of a Scrum Master for those who might be the first time joining us. Thank you so much for tuning in. But let's define what a Scrum Master is in this game called Scrum that we're playing. We have a product owner that is the visionary of the product. We have developers. These are the people who actually do the work. And then there is the Scrum Master. Who is the Scrum Master? The Scrum Master is the person who is responsible for making sure Scrum is used and used well. So, ladies and gentlemen, whatever environment say they use in Scrum, if they play in the Scrum game, they're going to have a Scrum Master. So let me debunk some of the questions I've been hearing in the world. I live a very simple, quiet life. I drown out the noise, if you will, but sometimes the noise penetrates to my ears. And a student called me this week and said, "Hey, man, what's going on with all the Scrum Master jobs?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. What are happening to them? My friends are all telling me they can't get jobs. They can't find any work." I'm like, "That's strange. I still got recruiters calling me every day looking for somebody who was qualified for me to refer them. I don't know anybody to refer because all Scrumcademy cadets are employed or they don't want to work." And I'll give you another video on that. I don't want to work. Unless they did legendary things when they was working. So as I was talking to this individual, talking to students in class this week, the question came up again. How's the market looking? The market is looking fantastic. You do hear about IT companies that are stop using Scrum, but if you really understand the Ralph Stacey diagram, the different domains of complexity of work, you have simple work, you have complicated work, you have complex work, and you have chaotic work. Scrum was made for complex work. Let me ask you this. Do you know anything else in the world that is not complex or chaotic anymore? And that's what Scrum was made for. So granted, they may have left today, but I'm pretty sure, just like in the Bible, I'm thinking about the story of the prodigal son. I'm pretty sure they will be back at some point in time. But until they do, that's fine, because there are other companies picking up Scrum and running with it. For example, did you know that Gillette, the razor blade company? Yeah, they use Scrum. They actually not too long ago did a interview with the Scrum.org CEO. Check that video out. So again, drown out the noise, stay focused. What you need to do, in my opinion, is make sure your skill set is ready where it needs to be so that when the tide turns, the economy is slow. It's, everything go through cycles. We're going through a cycle now. Are there less Scrum Master jobs? Yes, indeed. Qualified Scrum Masters unemployed? I don't know of any. And I will show you what I mean by that with some data in a moment. Qualified Scrum Masters? No. Very qualified Scrum Masters? No, they're not employed. Unless they want to be and they're working on other things, like going to law school, staying at home, taking care of the children while their spouse goes back to school. You see, that's a matter of choice. But They're unemployed because they want to be. I can go on LinkedIn, and I do see there's only about 3,000 jobs posted. I have a theory for that, which I'll touch base on another day. But we at the kitchen table talked about some of the things you might have on your mind. And today, I want to give you a roadmap for success in terms of all the skills, all the things you need to know as a Scrum Master. Remember, we wear 4 hats. You are a teacher, you are a coach, you are a facilitator. Those are the 3 main hats that you're going to be wearing as a Scrum Master. Answer me this: how good are you at those 3 skills? Now, teaching as a professional on its own, coaching as a professional on its own, and facilitation as a profession all on its own. My question to you is, have you done that self-assessment yet I asked you about in the last video? How would you rate yourself in teaching skills? How would you rate yourself in coaching skills? How would you rate yourself in facilitation skills? And let that be the guide in terms of what you need. Have you done that yet? Okay. So is it that Scrum Master jobs are not plentiful? Or is it just that the skill sets for the job are not plentiful? I'm of the mindset, and what I'm seeing and hearing in the market, the skill set is not there. Again, the pandemic is over. Companies are not just putting a body in place just to help facilitate events for a Scrum team. That's not what we do as Scrum Masters. We are professionals. We do more than that. We are responsible for 12 accountabilities in the Scrum Guide that you read today, or if you haven't read, you're going to read or listen to that video on the Scrum Guide. Very nice. Proud of it. So let's get into some data that I think would be very important for you and give you some things to think about. Yeah, you made me pull out my laptop. Sure did. We at the kitchen table having a conversation. I'm trying to enjoy my coffee, and I can see the puzzled look in your face. So let's go to scrum.org. This is where I'm at right now. Jump under the certification tab. I will put a link in the description for you so that you can reference this from time to time. As you can see, this has been updated as of October the 1st, 2023. I've heard that statement, Scrum is saturated. There's too many Scrum Masters. That's not true. You can go out here and ask 15 to 20 random people, do you want to be a Scrum Master? They probably look at you like you're crazy. In other words, they never heard of it. I'm thinking about a country like Japan. Scrum has pretty much penetrated a lot of countries, but Scrum is not dominant in Japan yet. If you're in Japan and go ask somebody, you might ask 20 people and nobody heard of Scrum or Agile. Is it saturated? No, certainly not. Again, drown out the noise. Drown out the noise. Stay focused on what you need to do, which is up your skill set. Up your skill set. And what I mean by that, I'm getting ready to show you right now. There are over 800,000 professional Scrum certified professionals across the world. Now, this is just scrum.org. There's other certifications out there. This is just one. And this is almost 900,000 professional Scrum certified practitioners across the world. Is it saturated? By no stretch of the imagination. Let's go down, since we talked about professional Scrum Master, since we talked about you being a legendary Scrum Master, how do you achieve that? I'm glad you listened to this video so you can save yourself some time and do like I've been doing with other students all year long. I ran an experiment. I will share that with you after this. Let's look at this data here on professional Scrum Masters. According to scrum.org, there are over 600,000 professional Scrum Master ones in the world. That's probably you. The person who's talking about, I can't find a job. I can't find employment. It's hard out here. Maybe for those people who your skill set is on the lowest end of the totem pole, it probably is hard for you right now. So what the data suggests is, as we put this in a Not Scrum Done video, the state of Scrum, we talked about right now, people are upskilling, which is normal. Whether you want to call it a recession or whatever, we do know the economy is not great right now. So what typically happens during that time? More people go to school, they up their skills, because you got more practitioners in the market right now. That happened to me when I got my MBA in 2007. I went to MBA school thinking, hey, I'm going to get my MBA, come out, set myself up for a greater opportunity to make more money for my family. Then the 2008 financial crisis happened. And then you got a ton of MBAs who've been working in this game for 5, 10, 20 years. Now they also unemployed, and now I'm competing with them. So I had to pivot and inspect and adapt again and do something different. So if you are at PS1 level, you competing with, this is just scrum.org, you competing with 600,000 other people. The assumption I'm making is they are trying to seek employment, but not everybody gets PSM1 to be employed. That could have been a product owner just want to get a certification, every combination thereof. But that is a big number you're competing with. Now, if you decide to come to a class or do self-study and take your PSM2, now you in a smaller pool. Okay, so you PSM1, yes, you elite. Now PSM2, now you super duper elite. Because now you're only competing with 36,000 people. Okay. And if you want to continue down your path to master your craft, man, I would like to think that's why you're playing this game, because you want to get good at it. You want to get great at it. You want to be legendary. Do you think you're going to be legendary with just a PSM1? Come on, man. Come on, woman. Are you kidding me right now? Really? It's okay. Now, for those of you who decide to really go down this path and really want to play this game at a high level, or whatever sports you like, I'm thinking, okay, you want to be Tom Brady, you want to be Michael Jordan, okay. There's levels to this thing, as you can see. So, okay, you want to demonstrate your commitment and your mastery of being a Scrum Master. How about go for level 3? Okay, you passed that exam. Now you with a super duper duper elite group of people across the world. Now you're dealing with 1,118 people. As you up your skills, you put yourself in a smaller pool of people for recruiters to make a decision. Because think about it. If I'm a recruiter, if I got a PSM on my desk, and let's assume everybody got 5 years of experience. If I got a PSM1 on my desk and 5 years experience, everybody got 5 years experience, then okay, what's the differentiating factor? Okay, what if I have a PSM2 in the mix? Okay, I might look at him or her a little bit more. What if I got a PSM3 in the mix? Everybody got 5 years worth of experience, but this person has PSM3 and everybody else has PSM1. Easy decision for me. And I have been in the room making those decisions myself as a recruiter and been in HR as well. So yes, that is a very common way to come up with a decision. Not all cases, but that is certainly one way to do it, especially if you don't know the candidate. Now, if it's somebody that came through a referral, of course, that's a whole different deal right there. But assuming that, hey, I don't know you, I got 10 people on my desk that I'm looking at, I know what I need for my team, what am I going to do? All I have to go on is how you market yourself through the curriculum vitae or through the resume, whatever you would like to call it. Okay, so that's why I want to show you this data. So now the market is not saturated. I just think your skills are just too low. You need to up your skills. I keep saying that. And that's why I recommend you read your Scrum Guide every single day. Companies are paying you to solve problems. And yes, this is a way that we can solve the problem. But if you just limit to just knowing PSM 1 level work, then you shorten yourself. You shorten yourself. Oh, you know what? Can I get some more coffee, please? Yeah, I'm about done. Thank you very much. Now let's talk about why would you want to fast track your Scrum Master journey? As I'm saying that, I'm thinking about a commercial. J.G. Wentworth has a jingle that ever since I heard it stayed in my mind. Need cash now. J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. 877 cash now. When do you want to get paid? When do you want to start making money? I'm assuming that you want to start making money now. So you could do self-study. Like I did self-study for a year. December is where I sit down and write down the person who I want to become for the following year. Write it down on a piece of paper. So that year I wrote down I was ready to leave project management and go be a Scrum Master. Wrote everything down, play by play, line by line, what I need to do, what date is going to happen. So I said by June of the following year, I will be a Scrum Master. So working backwards from that date, what are the things I need to do to make that a reality? Apply for jobs, got to get my skills set up, I got to get some certifications. Starting January 1st, I started studying 4 hours per day. I read the Scrum Guide each and every day. Never have stopped ever since I got into this game. Still read it every day. Because every time I read it, I see something that I miss. Yeah, it's only 13 pages. It's just like anything else in life. The more you read it, the more you watch that movie that you love. Every time you see it, you see something that you miss, right? Exactly. Scrum Guide's the same way. I took the CSM class February, so I'm already studying 4 hours per day all of January. So about mid-February, it was around Valentine's Day when I took that CSM class. Met some amazing people in that class that I still talk to today. Actually, Pat Evans, shout out to Pat Evans. We used to have a lot of conversation about how Scrum Dumb these environments were once we got into the industry. Really, the name of the Not Scrum Dumb channel actually came from many of the conversations that her and I had. Yes. Scrum Dumb. We just have some amazing conversations about that and things that we were seeing and the things that we were going through. But yeah, so I took that CSM class, but I wasn't really challenged at taking that exam at all. I just thought it was normal. I don't know if it was because I was studying so much, I was prepared for everything. Really wasn't challenged at all. But then when I started my job in June, that's when I talked to another Scrum Master. Thank you, Mr. Damian Lee. I was getting ready to go be a Scrum trainer. He told me all about Scrum.org. I did my due diligence, and I want to be a part of the best. He said, Scrum.org is the hardest certification on the planet. You pass that, you know your stuff. Like, okay, cool. I was shocked. I'd never heard of it. So thank you, Damian Lee. Still a good friend. Hope you and your family doing well. So I decided to go down that track. So why fast-track your Scrum Master Journey? Is the question I'm still answering. So now I'm still studying 4 hours per day, even when I was at work. Most of these books out behind me I read at work. While most Scrum Masters were just looking busy. I'm looking at what they're doing. I'm like, when I read the Scrum Guide, looking at what they're doing, I probably shouldn't be doing what they're doing because what I'm reading in this book and what my eyes are seeing, there's a disconnect. So I said, I better not follow them. I'm going to go my own path. Let me stay grounded and read my Scrum Guide and try to bring what's in this book to my environment versus vice versa. Okay. So luckily I had sense enough to be grounded in that. And then, of course, I'm on this journey to become a professional Scrum trainer. And of course, being a part of that, I had to take the PSM1 class. And when I took that class, I'm like, oh my God, first day, I'm just learning so much stuff. I thought I was pretty seasoned as a Scrum Master. But I went to that class. I realized how much I did not know. Day one, I couldn't wait to come back to day two. And that class helped me realize how much I didn't know as a Scrum Master. And the same thing will happen for you when you come to that class. All the Scrum.org classes that way. You will find out real quick how much you don't know, which is a good thing because that creates a baseline so that you can figure out what you need to do, figure out what you need to know so you can get to the destination of mastery, whatever that looks like for you. So that's the reason I say fast track, because the class is going to actually give you that piece of the puzzle to help you realize where are you truly at in comparison to the goal, becoming agile, having an environment that uses Scrum according to the Scrum Guide, not what we think it is, not what you want it to be, but for what it is. But if you're not grounded in the Scrum Guide, then you're going to get lost in the sauce. And I see that happen to a lot of Scrum Masters. And then if that happens, then there's not going to be any change that happens. So sad. Now let's go to the courses. I mentioned that to you earlier, that I ran an experiment this year. I do a lot of non-for-profit. I partner up with Scrum.org and also an organization called Year Up. Year Up is all about bridging the skills and opportunity gap for all minorities on the world. So quite natural, I would partner with a company like that. Now this past cohort, biggest cohort we ever had, we had something like 850-something odd students. So this year I ran an experiment. When I went face-to-face where all the PSTs get together, we talk and collaborate about things. I did that in Boston last year, and they came up with this document that I'm getting ready to show you right now. As you can see to my left, these are the recommended courses for Scrum Master according to Scrum.org. Let's start in the very center of this diagram. Recall, according to the Scrum Guide, we as Scrum Masters serve 3 levels. Now, with that in mind, let's start at the center of this diagram where it talks about core to the accountability of a Scrum Master. First of all, you got to know what you're doing. You got to have the basic skill set to know what the job entails and know how to navigate and serve others on the 3 different levels that we are required to according to the Scrum Guide. Scrum.org has 2 classes, and we teach both of these classes here at Scrumcademy. The Applying Professional Scrum class, that would be the initials APS, Applying Professional Scrum. Now, that class is like going back and reminding you how we used to work in kindergarten class. That's right, kindergarten class. I tell people all the time, you've been doing Scrum all your life. Our first exposure to Scrum was in kindergarten class. That's right. The product owner was the teacher. If the teacher had a teacher's assistant, he or she was the Scrum Master. And since the children are the ones doing the activities, kindergarten class around the world run 1-month sprints based upon the holiday. For example, let's just use the month of December. We know what every kindergarten class in the world is going to be doing for the month of December. We know what the sprint goal is going to be, to build something Christmas related to take home to mom and dad. Now, in the Applying Professional Scrum class, you're actually going to work as a team. You're going to have a product owner. You're going to have a Scrum Master. You're going to have some developers to do the work. You're actually going to build something amazing. So that's why I say it's going to be like a deja vu moment for you. Oh, man, this feels so great. Oh, man, this is how we used to work in kindergarten class. Yeah, it is. So when I hear people tell me they have no Scrum experience, I quickly remind them that, yeah, you have Scrum experience. You probably only have 9 months of your entire life of being in kindergarten class and your Scrum experience, but you do have some experience for sure. Now, the APS class is all about taking you back to kindergarten class in my analogy. Man, you can read the description on my website or scrum.org website, exactly what is entailed in the APS class. Again, I'm at your kitchen table. I'm keeping everything plain vanilla. I'm just keeping it plain vanilla simple. Hey, you know what? My coffee's about done. Can I get some more coffee, please? And this time, can you put some Bailey's Irish cream in it? Yeah. Now let's go to the PSM1 class, still in the center of this here diagram. What is that class like? The APS class reminds you of going back to kindergarten class and how we used to work and move as one unit in kindergarten class. The PSM1 class is all about, okay, now how do you recreate that kindergarten class magic for the workplace? That's the challenge. You see, now you the teacher of the class. So how are you going to recreate that psychologically safe environment that we all witnessed in kindergarten class for the workplace while serving the product owner, while serving the developers, while serving the greater organization? Sadly, most Scrum Masters never get outside of serving their local team. I'll get to that in a moment. Now, those two are in the center in this diagram, core to the accountability of the Scrum Master role. Now, one thing you need to know about these 2 classes is the APS and the PSM1 class. They both go to the same destination, which is the Professional Scrum Master I certification. The APS class, I typically teach that on a private level for companies, colleges, and universities around the world. But the PSM1 is open publicly for everybody across the world. Once you get that foundation down, okay, once you get that down, what is the next thing should you do according to the diagram and according to Grand Scrum Master Scott recommendation for you? Now, I'm thinking about an airplane right now. I'm thinking about, oh, yeah, ready to take a trip. I hope you are too. Might be in your city. Who knows? I'll let you know. I'm thinking about getting in an airplane. A captain saying the flight attendant close the doors, get ready for takeoff. And there's going to be a point in time where the flight attendants are going to say something like this. Basically, if we lose cabin pressure, the oxygen mask will come down. Now, if that happens, first put the oxygen mask on yourself and then help somebody else. Now, with that perspective in your mind, let's look at the rest of these. Now, what should be the next step you take looking at this recommended courses for Scrum Master? I would say improving your own skills would be the next step you should do. And that's the experiment I ran this year. So that would be the Professional Scrum Facilitation Skills class, and that would be the PSM2 class. That's all about upping your skill. What is the Professional Scrum Facilitation Skills class about? Isn't that one of the hats we wear as the Scrum Master? Teaching, coaching, and facilitating. For the first 30 days you're on a new team or a new environment, the two main hats that you're going to be using is your teaching hat and your facilitating hat. You're going to be teaching about Scrum. You're going to be teaching about complementary practices if you should need them. I'm going to start out teaching the Scrum Guide first and facilitate every event for the first 30 days because I want to make sure that I'm teaching and facilitating at the same time. Yeah, I'm going to do that for the first 30 days. And then I'm going to take off my teaching and my facilitating hat. Then I'm going to put on my coaching hat. And then in about 30 more days, I'm going to take off my coaching hat and I'm going to put on my mentor hat. It takes me 90 days to see what you see in the movie Nanny McPhee. I definitely would do an episode on her. She's my mentor, by the way. The legendary, the greatest Scrum Master of all time, Nanny McPhee. So improving your skills, man, at the same time, you can help your Scrum team as well. Not like you leaving your Scrum team over here while you go over here and work on your skill set. No, do both. Okay, yeah, you have the PSM1. That's giving you the basics you need to know to do the job, but there's an awful lot more we got to learn. Yes, indeed. So, now the experiment I ran was, I talked to a college today, a bunch of students get ready to take the APS class. They never heard of Scrum until maybe a day or two before I talked to them. For about an hour typically, then they take a class over the next 2 days. PSTs from all over the world come together to work on this initiative. So shout out to scrum.org. Then shout out to the amazing staff at Gear Up that coordinate all this here stuff. So it's an awful lot of work that goes into this. So I touch every student and telling them what this Scrum game is all about. Now, once that's done, they go take the APS class, and then I typically see them in my PSM1 class for those who are serious about playing the game. So they take my PSM1 class, and okay, they get through that. Now what? Half the students, I put them in the PSM2 class, which recommended according to scrum.org that you have at least 1 year experience as a practitioner. But of course, these are college students. They don't have any experience. They get ready to go into their internship. And I want to help them while they're in their internship. So half I put in the PSM2 first, and then I put them in the facilitation class, got feedback. Then the other half I put in the facilitation class first, and then I put them in the PSM2 class. Now, the overwhelming feedback for those who I put in the PSM2 first said, I wish you would have put me in the facilitation class first. Through all that data, this is the track that I'm going to recommend, and I always recommend to everybody at this particular point because the data supports it. If you start your journey, PSM1, definitely, that's going to give you the foundation. You have an aha moment of really what your job is as a Scrum Master. Okay, from there, what you need to work on. You're going to need to work on your facilitation skills, for sure. Then what? After you work on your facilitation skills, here's another fact for you. Most Scrum Masters very rarely get outside of serving their local team. So they serve the Scrum team, the developers, and they serve the product owner. But most Scrum Masters don't get outside to serve the greater organization. Maybe because we have Agile coaches. I don't know what the reason is. But we should, once we get our team up to where they need to be, self-managing, high-performing, then we should be going on the organization and doing what you see in the third set of bullet points in the Scrum Guide. The one that you read today? Exactly. I know you read it. So yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about. If not, you're going to go read or listen to that video shortly after this call. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, let me get a little coffee, please. Oh, this coffee's good. After the facilitation class, I do recommend you take the PSM2 class because the PSM2 class is really all about helping you figure out, how do I serve the product owner effectively? How do I serve my Scrum team effectively? How do I serve my greater organization effectively? We're going to introduce you to some tools like empathy mapping to help put yourself in a persona of a manager, if you will. A lot of cool stuff in that class. The facilitation class, we're going to introduce you to some cool facilitation tools and techniques. Oh, no, ain't going to be no sailboat. I've never done a sailboat retrospective in my life. I mean, if that's all you got, Scrum Masters, oh my God. I mean, we do that in the Applying Professional Scrum class. And the only reason I do that is because Applying Professional Scrum class is kindergarten class. Really? Is that what you do in the workplace? Is that all you got? Sailboat retrospective, the 4 L's? Come on. You're kidding, man. You wondering why you can't find a job, keep a job? Really? You think sailboat retrospective is going to help your team get to where they need to be? This place called Agile, Nirvana. It's fun. But do you honestly think that's going to get them where they need? Good luck. All right. Oh, some good stuff. Some good stuff. Now I want to take you to your Scrumcademy website. So where you can see how to find that document and register for the classes that I recommend to you. I also want to show you some cool things so I can save you some money. They've been here for a while, but again, just a way for me to make sure people know about this information, where to find it. Now, my website does have a youthful feel to it. Why? Because I spend most of my time with the young people of the world. Why? Because they're hungry. They change agents. Anytime there's been any major change in the world, it's always been the young people leading the charge. Sometimes we as older people get caught up in our ways, get caught up in the norm. But I spend my time with these individuals so that, hey, I plant enough seeds in them that I may not see some companies get to Agile and Scrum, because that's the problem. A lot of companies and Scrum teams have never seen Scrum and Agile outside of coming to my class and seeing it, but being able to create it is a different story. So I spend my time with the young people. When they come to my class, I really show them what this thing is all about. I show them what the promised land looks like. I show them what Agile looks like, as I will you when you come, so that you have a North Star in which to strive for when you go back out in the workplace, leaving the class, is what I'm speaking of. So if you scroll down on the home page is what I'm on, you would see I have some packages for you here, just based upon what I described for you in terms of fast track to becoming a legendary Scrum Master is the title of this episode. Exactly. So the first package I have for you, you wanted to start out taking the PSM1 class and the facilitation class. I call this Advanced Scrum Master Package. Well, Scott, thought PSM2 was the Advanced Scrum Master class. You're right, but this is Scrumcademy. Who have paid? According to Scrum.org, you are absolutely right. The PSM2 is the advanced level certification for a Scrum Master. But at Scrumcademy, an Advanced Scrum Master package is going to be a combination of the Scrum Master class and the facilitation class, because these are the first two things you're going to be doing for the first 30 to 60 days on your assignment on any job, and you really need to know how to facilitate. Okay. Now, also remember the study that I ran this year. I tried people taking it from the PSM1 to the PSM2 and then back to the facilitation class. But overwhelmingly, the recommendation is, no, Scott, do it this way. PSM1, facilitation class, and then the PSM. You have the flexibility to choose, what order you want to take it. I'm just giving you what the feedback that I've gotten from several of my students for this entire year. Again, you should be always wanting to up your skills. So I figured I'd go ahead and put these packages together. That way I can save you some money and help you get in this game, into your role, and hit the ground running so that you can be effective coming out of the gate, whatever that may look like for you. I don't even care if you're a veteran Scrum Master. I have a lot of veterans come to my class who have, fallen short and allowed themselves to become Scrum Dumb because you stopped learning, you stopped reading, you stopped growing. I'm more than happy to see you too. I'm going to get you up to speed quick, fast, and in a hurry during the class, but I always tell you that you still got to read your Scrum Guide each and every day. If not, you're going to be Scrum Dumb like who? Humpty Dumpty. You will become Scrum Dumb real quick, because all of our bodies automatically conform to the environment in which you're in. So if you're only going on what your eyes see, and if you're not putting your eyes on the Scrum Guide at all, then your body and your mind will conform to your environment just like that. And you don't have to think about that. That happens automatically. There's an awful lot of science and psychology in Scrum and Agile. Most of it I give you in the PSM1 class. But if you didn't know the science and psychology, here's the hack for you. Use the Scrum Guide as it's laid out, because that's your blueprint for how you be legendary. What I'm going to give you is the science and psychology to give you some extra, a whole lot extra. So the Advanced Scrum Master package, you're going to save $300 if you take that package. You pay for them individually as you wish. A lot of people do that. I was looking at the patterns of my students, so I said, let me just put this together in a package and take a person that in 30 days, you can get all these classes, and I'll show you how I got this laid out for you in a moment. Now, becoming an Advanced Scrum Master is the PSM1 class and the PSF class. So instead of buying these classes individually, that would be $1,500 for the PSM1, and the facilitation class would be $895. Now, you can pay $24.90, but you can save $300 if you buy the package. $21.90 for both of those classes. You schedule the class that you want. I'll show you how that works in a moment. Now, if you want to have the legendary Scrum Master package, that will be your PSM1, which I typically schedule these classes at the beginning of the month. The facilitation class, I typically schedule this class in the middle of the month because I'm trying to keep you on a 30-day cycle to get all these classes done and certified so that if you got a Scrum team, that's great. People call me all the time. After the first day, they implemented something I said, oh man, I tried that and that worked. Great. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Facilitation class, same thing. This is a 1-day class. Sometimes I do it in the evening. It's a 2-day class. So if I'm doing it across 2 days, typically on the second day, I'm getting a call. Somebody's coming back to class telling me something about they implemented work and it was legendary. Whoa, that's beautiful. I love it. Same thing with PSM2. Yeah, this manager, I've been having a lot of problems with trying to figure out how to get the organization to support the Scrum team the way I know it should be. Now we're going to teach you some tools and techniques and some ways to get that done in the PSM2 class. Great. And you're going to use that stuff going into your environment. Becoming a legendary Scrum Master, if you buy all these here classes individually, it'll cost you over $4,000. But if you buy the package, you're going to save yourself $500. Now, here are the classes. Now, that sheet I told you that I had here for you, all you got to do is click on this right here. And that is that sheet from scrum.org that I had behind me on the video here earlier. So again, this just help you see what your track is, APS. I just typically do this mostly for colleges, universities, and corporations. But I'm happy if you got a group of people that you want to get together, happy to do that for you. So not a problem. Customize that however you want. PSM class is definitely public, facilitation class, and the PSM2. Now, once you get your foundation down, and as you're working on your Scrum team, as you getting to know your Scrum team, then I would recommend, okay, do you think you need help personally to help support your product owner? Maybe you read a book to get that information, or maybe you decide to take a class at that particular point. But I want you to work on getting the foundation that you need personally, because I know that will put you in a better position to support your product owner, to support your team, and support the great organization. And the classes at scrum.org are broken and put in each category. So this is how you look at this information as your learning journey, if you will, so that you can make strategic moves. Okay, I'm at PSM1 now. Where should I go? If you're in an environment where you just really stuck in supporting your team, maybe you take this class. Maybe you put yourself on hold to go help your team if the need calls for it. Yeah, you have to make that decision in real time. I'm just trying to give you some ideas or something that you want to think about, thinking of yourself, thinking about the airplane analogy. Okay, the cabin pressure decreases, the oxygen mass is going to come down. What's the first thing you should do? Take care of yourself before you help somebody else. Indeed. Now, the classes are scheduled here. This is what you would look at. So when you buy the package, you would select the classes that you want to take. PSM1 class, I'm actually doing those and weekly, weekends through the evenings. Facilitation class, I try to schedule those about mid-month, one on the weekend and one through the week, just so that depending upon where you are in the world. Same thing with the PSM2. I try to schedule one closer to the end of the month. Again, I'm trying to get you on a fast track to go from PSM1 through PSM2 in 30 days. So I'm putting you in a Scrum boot camp if you so desire and up for the challenge. Most of my students are finding a lot of value in that. This is for students who are coming into the game, and this is for students who are already in the game, just want to get up to speed quick, fast, in a hurry, take off. Just want to show you that on the website, how it flows, so that you can make the best decision that you can for you and your situation. I like data, and I hope you do too. So I'm taking you back to the scrum.org site. You can go click on scrum.org training, student reviews, and feedback. Now, if you scroll down, it gives you some great information as to if you're on the fence of why should you take a scrum.org class. Well, there's several reasons why you should. One, to expedite your learning journey. Two, scrum.org classes are the hardest exam on the planet, and they are becoming the industry standard for Scrum Masters. This is definitely the hardest exam for Scrum Masters across the industry, for sure. So when you pass this exam, you have done something. Indeed, you have. You can't cheat. You can't fake your way through that exam because you have 80 questions to answer it. 60 minutes. You may be able to get by with asking Alexa or Google one or two questions, but if you keep doing that, the time box is going to expire, then guess what? You're not going to pass. Now let's look at the feedback that we get. These class reviews, this happens immediately after class is over. This is a student leaving a review. This is the overall scrum.org. If you want to find mine personally, just go find my name and you can read my class reviews for my classes. But this is for the entire company, it's entire scrum.org, as you can see. Now, 6 months after a person takes the class, scrum.org send them out a survey for them to fill out. Now, the results of the survey are right here at the bottom of this information. So if you scroll down, how long after the class did you start applying the concepts that you learned? Now look at that data, ladies and gentlemen. 41% said within 1 week. So are people applying the information that we're teaching them in this class? Indeed, they are. And 32% within 1 month applied. Okay, great. Maybe they took a vacation. Maybe we messed them up so much in class, expanded their minds so much, they just had to take a mental break, because we gave them so much information. Now, that's over what? 75%? 47 and 32, that's what? 70% said yes, they applying the concepts that you learned. It's good data. Did the concepts in the class improve your work environment and have a positive impact on your work culture or mindset? Woo! Look at that number. I don't mind it knows. 46 strongly agree. See, trying to help y'all be legendary. The other 40% slightly agree. Still, if we add both of those numbers, we're still at 86%. I take it. The majority are getting value out of this class. I love that. Man, I know that, but it's just good to see the data. I'm just sharing it with you. These are things that I know I'm trying to convey to you because I'm at your kitchen table drinking your coffee, and the coffee is amazing, by the way. Thank you very much. Did the class have an impact on your ability to deliver value to customers? That's the game that we playing, and stakeholders. 45% strongly agree. 35% slightly agree. That too is about 80% too, isn't it? So are people getting value out of this stuff? Looking at the data right there, ladies and gentlemen, I say that. So what you gonna do? Bad boys, bad girls, what you gonna do? I'm putting this video together just for you. Bad girls, bad boys, what you gonna do? Thank you so very much for listening to this Scrumcademy legendary episode. I hope you've got a ton of value out of this episode. I want to do something extra special for each and every one of you. Remember, our mission here at Scrumcademy is to help foster, create 10,000 Scrum Masters by 2030. Minorities specifically. Now, I can't get to my goal unless I help you get to your goal. Have you ever thought about that? And starting in a couple of months, I'm really going to go crazy in trying to help 1,000 people become millionaires also by 2030. That's less than 1,000 now. Yeah. Get ready to roll out the serial Scrum Master. Woo! There's so much I want to teach you, ladies and gentlemen, but it's all going to start with you knowing the Scrum Guide. It's going to all start with you knowing how to play this game. If you don't know how to play this game, then I can't teach you how to effectively and sustainably Scrum, not Scrum and travel. How about we travel and Scrum? I can't teach you how to make $1 million in a year as a Scrum Master if you don't know your Scrum Guide. If you don't know how to navigate and play this game, I can't teach you that. So that's why I'm very adamant you read the Scrum Guide. I'm going to show you how to make a ton of money. I'm going to make sure you're legendary in building your great teams. To me, it's all about lifestyle. If you're busy as a Scrum Master, you're doing something totally wrong. And we need to fix that in a hurry. You need to get in a class of mine yesterday. I mean, it really sads me when I see Scrum Master schedule are busy. Reminds me of when I was in my project management days. I mean, schedule is locked up the entire day, all week. Are you kidding me? What are you doing? You're a project manager? No, I'm a Scrum Master. For who? So I knew not to go work there. So it's all about lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. If we're doing Scrum right, you should have time to take care of your loved ones. Hey, it's important for me to take care of my mom. It's important for me to have a certain lifestyle. It's important to me to have a work-life balance, to see my friends, my loved ones. It's important for me to accomplish my mission, which is helping 10,000 Scrum Masters, minorities specifically, get in this game and play this game at a super duper high level. but I need you to do your part. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to give you legendary training. I'm going to give you the game. The question is, what you going to do with it? What you going to do with it? I can't help you with that. I've been teaching people to be serial Scrum Masters for years. I'm just going public with it now, so that ain't nothing new. But what used to sadden me is, and that comes with being a teacher as well, what saddens me is that, I give everybody the same information. Not many people are going to take the information and actually execute. Now, for those who execute on what I say and how I teach you, they call back, hey, I thought you were crazy. Or what made you change your mind? I did exactly what you said, and it was actually that easy. Yeah, we as human beings overcomplicate things. It is real simple. Isn't that a principle in the Agile manifesto? Simplicity. I keep things stupid simple. Stupid simple. It feels weird to you at first, but if you be disciplined, you will get to where it is you're trying to go. And I'm here. Everybody here at Scrumcademy, we have a very beautiful community. At some point in time, I'm going to have some Scrumcademy students on this channel. Not about social proof. It's not about that for me. It's about me showcasing them because they are legendary at what they do. And I think most of them are younger than 30 years old, doing legendary things. Any of my Scrumcademy students I will put up, I tell people this in class. So I'll go ahead and tell you because I'm expecting to see you very soon. I'm going to tell you right now. Any Scrumcademy student that I teach, I will put you up against anybody who said they've been in this game 5, 10, 20 years and you will run circles around them. A, because you understand the game. B, you know how to execute and navigate the game to win. Help your team be great. Remember, it's like kindergarten class. How do you recreate that environment like into a kindergarten class? How do you do that? That's what you're going to taught in class. And I also share with you my experiences because in a lot of environments, a lot of students, we work in the same company, but they can't come see me work. Why? Because I have a non-disclosure agreement. I can go see their work, but they can't come see me work. So my class is my way of you shadowing me at work. I teach that all of my classes that way. You shadowing me at work. You watching how I work. The next best thing you can do is watch the movie Nanny McPhee because I operate just like her. Until the next time, make sure you share this with somebody who you want to impact their life because I think this video is going to be very impactful. This one is a bit different. Thank you for allowing me to be in your kitchen table and having a beautiful cup of coffee with you, by the way. It's all finished now. But thank you so much for letting me come into your home, sitting at your kitchen table. Thank you so much for letting me sit beside you as you ride in your car, as you on some flight somewhere or wherever you might be in the world. Thank you so much for listening to me. And again, I just hope sincerely that I've given you something that you can think about where you can do a self-assessment. And I look forward to seeing you in class very soon. It's going to be a legendary experience. It's going to be a transformational experience. I can go ahead and promise you those two things. It will be legendary and it will be transformational for you. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you read the Scrum Guide. You already know. What am I about to say? Be agile, do Scrum, and be legendary, ladies and gentlemen. Love you. I'll see you in the next video.